But yesterday, it was about one man, Andrew Michael Holness, and I spent part of the morning reading through the statements he made at his inauguration, his swearing-in speeches before the one on Tuesday. And what is significant, and which is a sign that the country undoubtedly has progressed in terms of the big issues that a government must busy itself with to resolve to move to the next stage of progress. In 2011 October, when he was sworn in as Prime Minister, 39 years old, relatively speaking, contextually, the age at which people are sent to the post of Prime Minister or President in a country, the most senior political figure. A callow youth of 39, in context. Callow, looking very young, remarkably young. I was struck by how he looked in 2011. Relatively speaking, looking like a little youth. Andrew Holness did in 2011. And you know what he spoke of in that 2011 speech? He spoke of a desire to end the link, to break the link between politicians and garrisons. At the top of his list was this, the political garrisonization. He said it at the address, that this is my big aim, and of course we do that and we work on the economy and we can start seeing a better day. Leap forward 9 years from 2016. No, well, not 9 years. 2011, that was 14 years ago. 14 years later. Holness is not talking about the link between politicians and bad men in garrisons. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about a link between politicians and bad men in garrisons? When was the last time you heard anybody talk about politicians issuing out gun and controlling here and controlling there and having the power to, as people say and allege, order who it is to be taken care of in a certain way? Those are things of the past. And it's not the work of Holness alone or JLP alone. The country together, JLP and PNP administrations, what they have done together have helped to put us in a place where that big thing in 2011 is not even an afterthought. It's not spoken about. It's something consigned, we hope, to the past. There are different things confronting Jamaica, and Holness zeroed in on it in his speech yesterday. He spoke of many things, because that's what a Prime Minister designs his inauguration speech or her inauguration speech to do. It is a all-encompassing presentation. You know, it's almost like a throne speech that they're giving, talking about, rather than the parliamentary year, it's about the period in government. So for the next 5 years, my administration will seek to do these things. And they were adumbrated. Shout out to Dorothy Lightburn for bringing that word into, bringing it in vogue. Yeah? So that's what he did yesterday. And the thing he vowed to do, which wasn't a part of his 2011 speech, it wasn't even a part of his 2016 speech, but things have incrementally and otherwise, more substantial than incremental, been achieved from 2011 to now that, as I said, have consigned certain big problems then to the past, allowing us to be able to tackle other things in the now. The man said to the audience yesterday, big audience, that he's on a mission to end absolute poverty. That's where this Jamaican Prime Minister is right now, because of the things that have happened in the country over the last 14 years since he first tasted Prime Ministership. He's not worried about political garrisonization anymore and links between politician and gunmen. He's not worried about dons in communities having people in a chokehold and dictating how communities live. He's not worried about that. He's talking now about absolute poverty and how Jamaicans can feel the effects of the growth that the government speaks about when they talk about the fiscal accounts and the strength of the economy. And cleverly, he paralleled that with the excellence of Jamaica's reputation abroad. I've spoken here about being in South Africa, having a wristband on my right hand, right arm, right up here, within the Jamaica colours, and a white South African boy on his way to school stopping me and asking me for the wristband and asking me to sign his book so he could show his friends that he met a Jamaican. That happened in December 2002. I was in a place called Stellenbosch. Dutch settled that part of South Africa. Yeah, University of Stellenbosch. And that happened. That was before Bolt. But Bob and many others had made Jamaica this thing to want to attach yourself to. And the Prime Minister is saying Jamaica's reputation internationally is sterling. So how do we bring the levels at which people live in the country close, if not even, let's be ambitious, even on par with how people abroad see and view Jamaicans? He said that is his ambition, and I know how people stay. You aspire to something like this and you fall short and you are criticized for your ambition. How you say you didn't go do this and you don't do it? Notwithstanding the fact that in your attempt to get there, you would have accomplished other significant things. But the fact that you fall short is reasonable criticism. That just makes sense. So when they said 5 in 4 and they fell short and they never factor in COVID and everything else, and they never you cuss them for aspiring to 5 in 4. Who curses ambition? So Holness on Tuesday spoke to his ambition for the nation in this third term to end absolute poverty and to make Jamaicans, put Jamaicans on the path to being able to live in a manner that our international reputation suggests we live in the country. Yeah, the way people feel about us and lionize and venerate Jamaicans globally. Man says, well, we should live like that. We should live up to those lofty standards. That's the ambition. And you have to laud the ambition. We will see if it materializes, but we'll not only see because we're not bystanders, because he can't do it and the administration can't do it alone. It takes Jamaica. Does all of Jamaica want Holness to be successful? No. And that's the problem with a democracy, because you have a faction, a group that exists to tell you that this is worthless ambition, this is empty talk, what's being achieved isn't good, economic growth can't the good economy can't good fiscal balance can't and that's the dynamism of the democratic system. And so some of you will feel as if you're moving there, and others will tell you that you're not moving anywhere. You're on a treadmill. You think you're running, and you're there popping, and you start running, and you reach Spanish Town. You must say, no man, it's a treadmill you're there on, brethren, you don't move. But you sweat a lot and you're hungry now, don't. You haven't moved. Even if the government say, but yeah, look, see the map here showing that you started in Papine. No, you're on Washington Boulevard, and tomorrow you're set to be at White Marl, and then you're going to find yourself at Central Village, then you'll come to the roundabout at Jose Marti, then you'll go in a Spanish Town Square, and people will be giving you different messages, and then you will say, okay, but what is the truth? And I say, look with your own eyes. So Holness's ambition for Jamaica, laid out in that swearing-in speech on Tuesday. But here's the thing. There are signs that we are truly in for a rough ride And it's something I saw yesterday. I'll tell you what I saw after this break. I was saying to myself, please let this not happen, because if it happens, I have to do my duty and comment on it. And by commenting on it, you're going to make people who didn't see aware that it happened, and it could cause problems. And I'm like, please God, please let it be that it just works well. But it didn't work well. And I'm duty bound to tell you what I saw. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, who, from where I sat on the lawns at King's House, there's a very noisy section behind me. People yelling 1 p.m., just random 1 p.m. It was very jovial, you know. People still in them suit and about Nazi, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. People just comfortable and enjoying themselves. They came to swear in their prime minister, and nothing was going to shackle them. And I can tell you that the place I was, where I sat, I'm not just there just to, you know, sit in my suit and look around. I'm there strategically. I wanted to hear the reactions to the Prime Minister, to the opposition leader especially. And to be fair, that noisy section behind me, over my right shoulder, as I said, very much enthusiastic about the PM and the 1 PM and the chanting and the ribaldry, yeah, coarse humor that came from them. Yeah. There was an attempt at one point to boo Mark, but even that was stifled. So I can tell you that when Golding was announced, there was no, you expect a boo. No, they behaved themselves admirably. But here's the thing with the opposition leader. Why did the opposition leader, unlike everybody else, not rise to his feet when the Prime Minister walked from inside King's House to the platform? And why did the opposition leader not stand when the Prime Minister ended his address in the way that other people did? And you see, you say, Lord George, why you have to bring that up? Because it is out of keeping with tradition. That is why I'm bringing it up. This is my third inauguration. No, my fourth. I was there for Mrs. Simpson Miller's inauguration in 2006. I was there for her inauguration in 2012. I was there for the first Wholeness inauguration in 2011, and I was there. So I've been to 2 for Mrs. Simpson Miller, 2 for Andrew Wholeness. And I can't recall an occasion before yesterday where the opposition leader didn't rise at those 2 moments. And that bothers me. It bothers me because you know how these forums are and these occasions. And you stay true to the occasion, notwithstanding your feelings about people or your feelings about your circumstances. Mark Golding would still be smarting, to use the phrase that one of the commentators on the World Championships coverage on Nationwide earlier kept saying, still smarting. Noah Lyle still smarting from losing the 100 meters. Let's see the Tibogo still smarting from being disqualified from the 100. Golding still smarting from the September 3 election defeat, and that's fine. But what was too much about standing in those 2 moments? And I saw the entrance of the Prime Minister and Mr. Golding remaining seated. And then one of our colleagues said to me this morning, from elsewhere, a veteran, man who's been in the business longer than me, said, but George, he didn't stand on leaving. And I said, you lie. He said, may I have the video? And I said, send me. And I saw it for myself. And I held my head and I said, Lord, this is not good. What signal is that sending? You couldn't submit yourself to rising and to acknowledge the leader of the party that bested your party in a fair contest. So ceremony couldn't have been allowed to win on Tuesday by the opposition leader. Tradition could not have been allowed to win on Tuesday by the opposition leader. It leaves me even more worried about the path ahead and how that damages the ambition of the leader, the political leader of the country, to bring the country on a certain path to a certain destination. So in that, you see why ambition is one thing, but ambition can be derailed by many environmental factors, especially an environmental factor as strong as an opposition that is just there to make your life hell. No, I maintain oppositions shouldn't be compliant. Yeah, they shouldn't be acquiescent lickspittles. Opposition should be strong and robust. But there comes a time for decorum. There comes a time for hypocrisy. Yes. There comes a time to shake a hand of a man who, too in him, But the occasion demands that you do. There was a horse that came on a sprout called Smile and Leave. Yeah, man, you smile and you leave. That's what the occasion demands. And you try to set an example, a good tone, and then you move on and you retreat to your tabernacle with your group. And then you work out how is it that your group is going to execute the role that has been given to you. Remember, on September 3, the Jamaican people said, Mr. Golding and his party can best help Jamaica at this time as opposition members. That's what the overall result means. They said, Holness and his team, you continue government. Golding and your team, you be the opposition. That's what Jamaica said. It was no mistake. You never send me go to the racer shop for buy number 8 and buy number 3. The race run and the results are in. So in the moment of high ceremony, pageantry, pomp, all partisan considerations for the captive few hours are relinquished, set aside, and you just stay true to the occasion, smile, and leave. Nothing hard in that. So I'm stressing this point to show you how ambition and the achievement of the targets, meeting of the targets, the achievement of the goals on the road of ambition is not linear. There are obstacles in the way. And we saw what looked like a hell of an obstacle yesterday. The opposition leader sending a strong signal. Not playing ball. Already. Quickly. Cabinet. I've made many calls. Some people dodge my calls. Some people say that they have meetings this morning. Meetings perhaps started at 10. There were meetings last night. At least 3 gentlemen have said that they remain unchanged. No addition, no subtraction from their portfolios before. At least one portfolio, which was a minister without portfolio, has been made a standalone ministry, standalone minister, a minister by designation, not minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, blah, blah, blah. Now, that has changed. And I gather one of the few sticking points the Prime Minister has to navigate is with a certain minister who they want to change up the ministry. And the lady may be having other ideas, so there is a negotiation, spirited, with the Prime Minister about preserving that particular ministry, is what I've been told. But by 1 o'clock, it'll be public knowledge, the appointments. So we don't have long to wait. There's a woman I saw yesterday. Someone found her and put her up on social media. I just want you to see this video of this woman in the mask and in the 1 p.m. green. Have a look at this, YouTubers. Let's go.
Before you, deeply humbled and profoundly grateful to accept the people's mandate to once again serve as your one Prime Minister. I consider it the greatest privilege, and I do not take it lightly. The third term is not a laurel to rest upon. It is a summons to continue to serve with vision, wisdom, and integrity.
Right, so they found the clip, not the clip I want, you're going to find this one now. But, you know, among the entertainers yesterday, of course, Mr. Vegas was sing along when Vegas touched the stage. The labor rights loved him. But it was very nice to see the 2016 campaign by the Prime Minister. One of the songs, the 2 songs that were the soundtrack for his campaign, Nesbeth's My Dream and Alkaline's Champion Boy. Nesbeth was on hand yesterday to sing My Dream. And what was ironic perhaps about it was Nesbeth is on a billboard in Jungle, PNP Heartland, Mark Golding's constituency of South St. Andrew. Yeah? When you turn out Spanish Town Road, turn up, going up Collie Smith Drive. Yeah? I think the Nesbeth billboard, Jaden Hibbert is on the left, going up. And Nesbeth would be on the right, or both of them are on the left. I know that Jaden Hibbert is on the left, so Nesbeth may be on the right, further up, closer to the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. So, Mark Golding trying to inspire the youth in South St. Andrew, as he should, and using the exploits of artists and sportsmen to do so, as he should, has Nesbeth as a symbol of what South St. Andrewites, youngsters especially, should aspire to be. An outstanding example Nesbeth is. And that man, whose antecedents are known, was at the Prime Minister's inauguration singing a song that inspired the Prime Minister. That's what togetherness is. Because the organizers could have said, no, Nesbeth is a symbol of South St. Andrew, and Nesbeth has been used as an inspiration by a PNP MP, the leader of the opposition, so no, we don't want him here. That wouldn't have been common sense. So common sense won the day. And I don't know how the opposition leader felt seeing Nesbeth up there. I'm sure he would have enjoyed the song. I certainly did. And that's the kind of togetherness. And togetherness doesn't mean compliance at all times. And as I said, I don't want a weak opposition roll over tickle me belly. No. But the fact is that the country comes first. Yeah? Anyway, show me that woman in the 1 p.m. gear before we take the break now and start at the cause, Nora. Come the man. The app named Kevin. Come the man, moving fast. Come the
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
The earring at 1 p.m. The phone at 1 p.m. and my curfew at 1 p.m.
And the juice, all of that.
And if you tell you at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Everything at p.m.
You not be able to sell.
Hot. Well, look here now. Look here. Royalty.
So she looked like, for those who can't see, The woman, hold the picture there. Pause it there, Kevin. So her shoes are green. Her handbag is green. It's a tote bag with 1 p.m. on it. Her skirt is green. Her blouse is green with some white checks on it. Yeah? She has in green hair extensions. Then she has green ribbons with 1 p.m. on it. She has about 5 wristbands on her right arm. Yeah? Then she has the labor rights have tweaked the green. So they introduced a lighter green in this campaign, which I rather like more than the old green. Maybe I should be used to the old green and I want to say something new. But I really like the as Jamaicans will say, shocking color green. Right? So she has another tote bag with the shocking color green. Then she has on a masquerade ball mask. One of those that what's the movie with it's a movie with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Is it Eyes Wide Shut? Yes, where they had the masquerade ball and you pretend. Yeah. So she has on one of those masks. And I saw her when the thing was over, and I was like, "What? Come on, she really look. She's standing out." And somebody picked her up on TikTok and posted it, and I'm sharing it here. Yeah, this is a woman who loves party. Green hair extensions and the mask. Mama, whoever you are, the outfit slap. Let's take the break and come right back. Yeah, it was a grand occasion. I've been among comrades, as I've said before, when Mrs. Sims Miller got her first bite at the cherry as Prime Minister. I mean, it was hugely historic. I've said here, my granny was as big a laborite as they come. Her lifelong mission was to keep me away from the politics. So it's not that she schooled me into loving one or the other. She vowed, she said, listen, I send you to school, that's for you, this thing ain't not for you. Yeah, me don't get caught already, you leave it alone. But as a rockstone laborite, that woman loved Portia Simpson Miller gone to bed. Yes? And I remember inauguration day, the morning, she called me early, asking me if I was going. I said, yes, Mama, may I go? Yeah. Then if you will get to see her and talk to her, I said, Mama, I don't think so. Yeah, loved Portia Simpson Miller gone to bed. So I was at the first one, and I was at the second one when she got her own mandate. Big, massive occasion. Yesterday, the scale, I won't even compare crowds, but yesterday was huge, and the vibe was good. The spirit was good. There's a B word I'm going to use, laborites and listeners, everybody of all stripes. Bonhomie among the laborites, Bonhomie. It was just, I can't find a simpler way to say it. I'm sorry. Yeah, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the spirit of one man for each other. It was just good vibes flowing. And inauguration ceremonies are often like that. It was brimming over the cup with that yesterday. I saw, again, I'm bowled over by the reception. Yeah, I saw Mahiri and Jamal, or two on-duty people. I wasn't on duty. I was attending as a civilian for the first time. Yeah. And it was just tremendous. So, and thank you again for all your support. Anyway, the lines are working. Yeah, 630-9371, 630-9372, 9373, 9374, 618-8255. What from Wholeness's speech resonated with you? What you think will stay with you? Same thing. What are your thoughts on cabinet? Your reaction to the opposition leader's decision to sit at the entrance of the Prime Minister and the completion of his speech? Am I making too much out of it? Let me know your thoughts. Good morning. Tony Patel. Good morning, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, Honorable.
Well, I'm glad I got the first opportunity to just ask for reactions to what you said about the position. I correct you, give you a correction. It's not tradition to stand when the Prime Minister enters.
Yeah.
It is protocol.
All right, even better, sir. Even better, sir. Thank you for that.
Protocol that when
Uncle Tony's line is bad, you know. Hold on there. Hold on, Tony. Hold on, Tony. Nora, see if you can call him now and get a better connection. Please. The line is dipping in and out. And as Tony Patel said, he said, George, I have to correct you. It's not tradition, it's protocol. Protocol demands that you stand. So it would be then that the opposition leader broke protocol twice on Tuesday.